Live from the Student Center Piazza, this is the Q30 Newscast.
Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, after a change of title from SGA representative to senator, more changes may be coming to the organization's structure in the future.
And there are only 3 days left until Khalid and Daya come to Hamden for this year's Wake the Giant concert. Find out what safety measures the school has put in place to prepare.
But we have the backup of the ambulances there.
And Quinnipiac students participated in this year's largest service event on Saturday, volunteering in over 100 sites in Hamden and the surrounding areas.
All that and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast. Welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Alex Taglieri.
And I'm Drew Feinberg. We begin tonight's show with an SGA update. It seems like there's been a lot of SGA news recently with the fallout from the SGA elections and the results that were released this past Monday.
That's right, Drew. Today at the General Board meeting, the budgets for the 2018 and 2019 academic year were approved, and some big changes were and will be implemented in the following weeks. Christina Vitas has tonight's SGA update.
Passes, blend.
That was a sound the Student Government Association heard over 100 times today. SGA reviewed and voted on the proposed budgets for student organizations with an estimated allocation of $600,000 from the university for the second year in a row.
It's just ridiculous to me that we have to cut so many different things, and Ryan Hicks knows that, and he is ready to fight for it. You saw that clearly today in what he said. Hopefully we'll be able to push administration to say we need more money than this because we've spent it all this year and we're not going to be able to fund everything that needs to be funded next year.
The 2-hour General Board meeting also featured a proposal for the first of many structural changes to come for SGA. Presented by Junior Class Vice President Joe Yasso, the General Board voted in favor of officially changing the position title from Class Representative to Senator. And they're making room for major growth to the organization.
Rather than just their class, we're hopeful that these, what the class cabinet positions are now, will turn into like senators at large. So they're representing the needs of a whole host of students, and the new senators that we're adding will be more specific to different areas of campus and of the student body.
The next proposal for change will be the addition of a judicial branch to the organization, adding 4 more members to the General Board.
It was very difficult this year and last year. We saw to hold members accountable for their actions on student government. By having this judicial and ethics board, we're able to do that more easily. We also have an established group of people that make sure the Constitution and bylaws are consistently updated with our practice.
The proposed judicial branch features students not a part of SGA in an effort to keep the justices as unbiased as possible, as well as a Chief Justice that will be added to the Executive Board. Further logistics will be developed by the President and Vice President Committee and will be voted on in the coming weeks. For Q30 News, Christina Vitas.
This Saturday's annual Wake the Giant, presented by the Student Programming Board, features 5-time Grammy-nominated artist Khalid with special guest Daya. Q30's own Olivia Schuler has the story on how both public safety and the health center prepare for this event.
There are just 3 days till Wake the Giant. Headliner Khalid is heading to Hamden and will perform alongside Daya. Bazzi will no longer be performing due to a scheduling conflict. Public safety is preparing for an event in a number of ways.
We have our plan for all our special events, so we'll be working with Hamden PD. We have our 2 sergeants assigned to that post, along with about 7 additional personnel.
Quinnipiac facilities are taking precautions before the event in regards to safety.
We have a security team there as part of the entourage. There's about 30 private people that are going to be checking bags and stuff like that.
Underage drinking is a concern for facilities each year. The health center staff ensure students that they have a place to go to in the state of emergency.
In years past, we really haven't had a problem. We've planned for the worst, but are usually pleasantly surprised. So hopefully there won't be any problems, but we're certainly ready to handle that if it does arise.
Q30 tweeted back in March asking students if they would be attending Wake the Giant. 57% of the 81 students who voted said yes, with 43% saying no. Remember, if you are attending the event, doors open at 7 p.m. and performances begin at 8 p.m. this Saturday. For Q30 News, I'm Olivia Schuler.
If you feel like your major isn't right for you, there is another option. Individualized study programs allow students to create personalized programs in order to set themselves on a specific career path. Beverly Wakiaga has the story.
Some would say that it is one of Quinnipiac's best-kept secrets, but independent majors have been at the College of Arts and Sciences since 1972, when students could tailor their program to their liking.
They have an idea of something that they would like to do with their undergraduate career, but they don't see it represented in any of our traditional majors.
Students who feel this way about their courses are encouraged to apply for an independent major in their sophomore year, once they have gotten a feel for the school and the classes on offer.
So they learn a lot of new things once they get here. Also to acquaint them with different faculty members, because when you complete an independent major, you also need to have advisors for that major.
To be declared an independent major, students must meet with Professor Paddock, who helps them through the process of creating a proposal. The proposal is meant to explain their goals, why they need the major, and why they want to combine that selection of courses.
Sometimes students opt for the independent major, but sometimes they find out that, as I was saying before, that maybe these subject areas actually will help them reach their academic goals better than they thought they would.
Senior Nisha Gandhi is one of the few students at Quinnipiac with a personalized program. The educational policy major spoke to Q30 about why she chose to go down this route instead of the traditional path.
I always wanted to be a teacher, and then I student taught my senior year of high school, and I kind of realized how many inequalities there are within the education system. So then I changed to political science for a little bit, and then I realized that there were courses within that curriculum that didn't really match my interests, so then I made an independent one.
With plans to attend Brown University for grad school, Gandhi has found that personalizing her program has been more advantageous to her than a normal degree.
It's really cool to be able to talk about that with them to a level that was, it made me stand out in terms of all the other candidates that apply.
According to Professor Paddock, the College of Arts and Sciences is currently the only school that offers this option to students, since the degree must either be in the arts or the sciences. For Q30 News, I'm Beverly Wakiaga.
Quinnipiac's student employees help ensure the university continues to operate as smoothly as possible. Tuesday morning, the university celebrated and said thank you to these employees. Krista Delane has the story.
The National Student Employee Association's Student Employee Appreciation Week is every year in the second week of April. Quinnipiac is taking this opportunity to celebrate its own student workers.
In today's event, what we have is we have a few things going on. So today we announced the nominees and the winners of the 2018 Student Employee of the Year Awards. So for our undergraduate Student Employee of the Year, we announced Joel Vanner was our winner from Integrated Marketing Communications. And we had Bianca Waffenschmidt from the Department of Fraternity and Sorority Life win our graduate category for Student Employee of the Year.
The annual Student Employee Appreciation event took place over 2 days on the Mount Carmel campus and North Haven campus.
The goal of today is to sort of recognize all of the valuable contributions that our student employees have across this campus, because we have over 1,500 student employees that work in many different departments across campus, and without the hard work that they do in helping our professional staff and faculty members and really everybody throughout the university, the Quinnipiac community.
I won the Graduate Student Employee of the Year Award. So my supervisor nominated me for the work that I was doing, I guess, and yeah. Pretty nice to be honored.
With the school year winding down, this event offered students the opportunity to be recognized for all their hard work over the past school year. For Q30 News, Krista Delane.
Coming up after the break, we recap the university-wide community service event, the big event that took place this weekend.
And Kerry Golden is here with updates on Mark Zuckerberg's testimony in front of Congress.
Whether you're on the quad, in your room,
or heading to class,
tune in to Q30 News.
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas. Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. QCash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
The big event, Quinnipiac's biggest day of community service, took place this Saturday and drew nearly 2,000 students who spent 3 hours at various sites in the surrounding towns. We spoke to the event coordinators about the day's success.
Overall, this was the most positive year in reviews. We had the most positive feedbacks from all our nonprofit sites, from all of our volunteers, and about 98% would do it again next year, so we're really excited for it.
April marks Sexual Assault Awareness Month. To commemorate the month, many Quinnipiac organizations held events to shed light on the important topic. A few of these events included Let's Taco About It, hosted by QU After Dark, provided a taco bar as students learned more about sexual assault resources on campus. Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, hosted by Alpha Chi Omega, was a philanthropic walk to raise awareness about domestic violence. Participants would literally walk a mile in her shoes by wearing high heels during the event. Tomorrow in the Mount Carmel Auditorium, the director and producer of the documentary The Testimony Project will speak. The last event takes place Monday, April 16th. Zerlina Maxwell, Director of Progressive Programming at SiriusXM, will be speaking at BurtCon Court, taking her audience through the definition and elements of rape culture in the media and pop culture.
The Black Student Union will hold its annual fashion show this Friday, and this year's theme is commemorating the 1990s. We spoke to Carrie Ann Walters about what the theme means to her.
It's like the closing year for the 90s, so like all the 90s babies are like turning 20 and over, so like we wanted to give like a big hurrah to the end of the 90s era.
From Mark Zuckerberg's testimony in front of Congress to Paul Ryan making a huge announcement, there has been plenty going on in the world of politics this week. Kerry Golden has those stories and more. Kerry?
Thanks, guys. I have an update on the continuing investigation with Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Yesterday, Zuckerberg confirmed the Facebook staff is cooperating with Robert Mueller to continue to investigate into the Russian interference in the 2016 election. The CEO stated this at a joint hearing of Senate and Judiciary Committees of 44 members to discuss this issue. A month prior to the hearing, yesterday, word got out that a company with ties to Trump's campaign accessed information from as many as 87 million Facebook users without knowledge. In his opening statement, the Facebook CEO addressed Facebook flaws and apologized for failing to protect users. Many lawmakers pointed out during the hearing that Facebook is not safe and has many loopholes for cyber attacks by foreign operations and hacking. He agreed that he would be willing to work with Congress to regulate this. Zuckerberg was later asked in the 5-hour hearing if Facebook has been served subpoenas for the special counsel, to which he replied yes. But later he clarified and stated he is not actually aware, but does know that they are working on it. Today on Capitol Hill, in front of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, Zuckerberg answered questions in regards to privacy practices, foreign interference, and whether Facebook harbors political bias against conservatives. A California representative asked him if data was found in the research that was sold to malicious third parties, in which he also replied yes. He continued to say that Facebook has no way to find the exact post to regulate this. If lawmakers are not satisfied after these hearings, they could threaten legislation. In other political news today, House Speaker Paul Ryan announced he will not run for re-election in November. Ryan has been the Speaker for less than 3 years and will be leaving to spend more time with his children.
Some of you know my story. My dad died when I was 16, the age my daughter is.
And I just don't want to be one of those people looking back on my life thinking I spent more time with my kids, when I know if I spend another term, they will only know me as a weekend father.
Ryan said that he will still finish his term and retire in January. However, he dismissed any questions in the press conference that question as to whether or not he was leaving because he fears Democrats. That's all I have for this week's Q30 Political News Update. I'm Carrie Golden. Back to Alex and Drew.
Thanks, Carrie. When we come back, Brooke Riley has your 7-day weather forecast, including what the weather is looking like for Wake the Giant later this week.
And Katie B talks Cardi B in this week's entertainment update. We'll be right back.
Whether you're on the quad, in your room,
or heading to class,
tune in to Q30 News.
for stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas. Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. QCash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Welcome to the WQAQ Morning Show. Dan Ball and Emma Spagnolo joining you here from the QAQ studios in Hamden. And Emma, it is that time of year again.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Welcome back and thank you for sticking with us. Spring is upon us, but has the weather that comes with it caught up to us yet? Brooke Riley is here to give you this week's full weather forecast. And Brooke, am I going to be able to wear shorts this week?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Drew, you might be able to wear shorts this week, actually. It's been a little chilly lately, but it's going to get warmer this weekend. Tonight we have temperatures around 36 degrees. Tomorrow we're looking at temps around 54 degrees. Unfortunately, we're looking at some rain, though. Looking around the state of Connecticut, we're going to have temperatures over on the East Coast at... We're looking over around the state of Connecticut. Hartford, we're looking at 35 degrees. Kalingley, 33. If you look over here, we have 36 degrees in Torrington and Danbury. Over on the coast, we have 38 degrees in New Haven and 37 degrees in New London. Now we're going to look ahead at the week. We have 51 degrees today. It was partly sunny skies, not too bad out there. Lots of students out and about walking around. Tonight it's going to be 36 degrees. Tomorrow, like I said before, it's going to rain, but April showers do bring May flowers, so hopefully we've got some nice weather coming for you this weekend. Tomorrow it's going to be 65 degrees and sunny, so it's looking really nice for the weekend. We have 70 degrees on Saturday. Lots of outdoor events happening here on campus. Definitely go take advantage of the nice weather because it's going to get even colder on Sunday. It's going to be 47 degrees and rainy, unfortunately, so make sure you bring out your umbrellas if you have to go out and about. Same thing with Monday. It's going to be 52 degrees and some more rain, unfortunately. The rain's going to stop Tuesday, though. We'll have just some clouds, and it's going to be 49 degrees. That's all I have for this week's weather update, but enjoy the nice weather this weekend. And Alex and Drew, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brooke. It seems that every television star is getting a spin-off show lately, from the Gosselin family to the Jersey Shore cast. Katie Ballas-Tracy is here to update you on the latest Hollywood news. Katie, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. First for entertainment news this week is Cardi B and the pregnancy rumors. Are they true? The answer is yes. Cardi B and her fiancé Offset are expecting their first child. Cardi was creative with her announcement that was done while performing on Saturday Night Live. In her first set, she hid her stomach in a feathered outfit. And in her second set, she wore a fitted Christian Serrano gown that showed off her baby bump for the world to see. She later shared a tweet thanking her fans, saying, quote, "The love I'm receiving is overwhelming. I can't thank you enough for always finding the time to support. Thank you a million times." End quote. Congratulations to Cardi and Offset. Kate Gosselin, former star of Johnny Kate Plus 8, which after her divorce in 2010 turned into Kate Plus 8, is back with a new spin-off, Kate Plus Date, a show less focused on her children and more focused on Kate's dating life. The twins, who are now 17 years old and off to college next fall, leave Kate home with the sextuplets, who are 15 years old. Gosselin tells People magazine, quote, "I'm nervous, I'm excited, and I'm forcing myself to do this," end quote. The new show will air in the fall. Fans were boasting with excitement during the premiere of Jersey Shore Family Vacation, a spin-off of Jersey Shore, which ended in December of 2012. Hashtag Jay's Vacation was trending on Twitter during the premiere on April 5th. Fans were tweeting typical Jersey Shore sayings like "cabs are here." The Jersey Shore Family Vacation premiere had 3.6 million viewers total, with 3 additional days of playback. It was also the highest rated unscripted debut on cable among people 18 to 34 since 2012. With viewership and ratings like that, it's no surprise that the show is renewed for season 2 and will continue to air on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock. That's all the entertainment news I have for today. Alex, Drew, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Katie. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, Jonathan Banks updates you on everything that happened this past week in Quinnipiac athletics.
And Sarah Russell introduces you to the personalities that make up Quinnipiac's pep band. Stay with us.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
This is Sports Pause.
Are you concerned with the 0-2 start for this team?
Right here, top of the circle, again, rips it past the grassroots goalie.
What will breaking the record mean for the program himself? I mean, 138 wins.
There's the tough shot. What a nice play by Mikey Dixon.
He's good in transition. Just a really dynamic scorer he can create for himself.
And now, Emma, it's time for the top 5 plays of the week.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Welcome to the WQAQ Morning Show. Dan Ball and Emma Spagnolo joining you here from the QAQ studios in Hamden. And Emma, it is that time of year again.
Well, Tag, spring sports are in full effect, and one team has gotten off to its best start in over a decade. But now we're going to welcome in Jonathan Banks, who's here to break down the week that was Quinnipiac athletics. JB?
Thanks, guys. Let's start out with our spring sports coverage. Let's look at some teams that were looking to make, or one team, rather, that was looking to make its best conference start since 2004. And that was the baseball team. John Delaney's men have been cruising in MAC play. They swept St. Peter's last week by scoring 42 runs in total and defeated Monmouth in the first of a 3-game set. Let's see what happened in Game 2 of the series. And Game 2 for the Bobcats should have a new name, the Liam Scafariello Show. The junior right fielder had a monster day at the plate as he had only 2 hits, but accounted for all 4 of Quinnipiac's RBIs. He mashed a 3-run home run to left field. Then, with his team tied at 3 in the 7th, he had an RBI single, and that was all Quinnipiac needed. The Bobcats defeated Monmouth 4-3. Quinnipiac would go on to sweep Monmouth via a Ben Gibson walk-off single on Sunday in the 11th inning. This gave them a 6-0 start in the conference. Now let's take a closer look at Liam Scafariello, the man who put the team on his back Saturday in Game 2. So as you can see here, Scafariello's hitting .230, 6 home runs, 30 RBIs. He went 3 for 11 with 7 RBIs this weekend against Monmouth. He's a hit-or-miss hitter. He's literally struck out 48 times. That's the most in the team by over 20 strikeouts, but he can hit the long ball well. He's got 6. He hit 16 last year, so we'll see what he can do as Siena comes to town this weekend. But the baseball team was not the only team in action. As you can see here, coming up on your screen, we'll take a look at the rest of the scores around town. And besides the Quinnipiac men's tennis team, who played at a neutral site, everyone else was home. First, you have the Quinnipiac lacrosse team, who are led by Mike Fletcher, who had 3 goals and 3 assists, got 5 of those points in the first half as Quinnipiac defeated Manhattan 9-5. Adam Bellamy was the MAC Defensive Player of the Week for the Bobcats. Moving on to softball, Casey Herzog has been dominant in the circle and continued to do so with the complete game 5 hitter as the softball team beat Niagara 5-1 and ended up sweeping Niagara after winning 9-0 on Sunday. The women's lacrosse team lost 8-7 to Marist. Allison Kuhn led the way with a hat trick. Ashley Babinski had 2 goals, but it wasn't enough as Marist is now top of the MAC. Gannon University lost to Quinnipiac Acro in tumbling. Acro and tumbling had 3 perfect 10s in the event, led by Carmen Diaz, who is the ECAC Acrobatics and Tumbling Player of the Week after being a part of the perfect 10 in the compulsory event. Lastly, men's tennis was down 2-0. They were up 2-0, excuse me. Then they went back down 2-3, but ended up coming up with a win 4-3. Axel Stern played a huge part in the win. So as you can see, our Quinnipiac team successful over the week, and that's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jonathan. The pep band always brings some extra spirit as they support Quinnipiac's hockey and basketball teams. Tonight, Sarah Russell turns the spotlight on the people behind the music in this edition of Quinnipeople.
Quinnipiac's pep band may also be known as some of the biggest superfans for Quinnipiac athletics, attending every men's and women's hockey and basketball games. They get to cheer on their favorite teams while also doing what they love, playing music.
All throughout my life I've done music. I've played piano, clarinet, and now alto saxophone all my life. So I just wanted to get involved in something musical on campus, and Quinnipiac Pep Band sounded like the perfect thing to do because I also love sports teams.
And Pep Band wants to make it easy for people to get involved, only having casual seating auditions to get a better understanding of everyone's ability.
We accept people of every talent level, which is another really cool thing too. Some people have joined the pep band and never really played an instrument and have left being really awesome musicians, so we're really open for everyone.
With all of their time spent together, members of the pep band use one word to describe their bond: family.
It's such a big family, really, because we spend so much time together. We only practice once a week, but we're at those games on the weekend, sometimes 3 or 4 games in a row, depending on the day. So you really get to know the people in it, and that community aspect of it's really cool.
We all really are like a family here. I really enjoy coming to all our rehearsals and games and stuff because we all have fun and enjoy it.
Along with the love they have for each other, they also love supporting the Quinnipiac sports teams.
We're there for Quinnipiac and for our Bobcats, whether or not we're winning by 20 or losing by 20. And I think that the school spirit thing is a really cool thing that we bring to the table.
Be on the lookout for the pep band the next time you attend a Quinnipiac hockey or basketball game, and just try to match their spirit.
We're loud, we're nuts, so I love this band so much.
Sarah Russell, Q30 News.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have tonight on the Q30 Newscast. Make sure you don't miss any of our content by checking out our website, q30tv.com.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Q30 News for the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
I'm still filling the paper.